Hey guys, what's going on? Happy New Year. I'm back with another video, and this is the Pixel XL review. I've had my Pixel XL for way over a week by now, so by the time this video comes out, it wouldn't be fair to call it a 1 week with the Pixel XL. So that's why I've decided to do a review instead. And if you haven't seen my unboxing video for the Pixel XL, check it out up here. Google is finally jumping into the flagship phone realm with their Pixel and their Pixel XL line of phones. This first iteration is what I would define as a success. Let's get this out of the way first. This is an expensive phone. It's the same as other flagship phones such as the S7 or the iPhone 7 Plus for $769 for a 32GB model Pixel XL. And you can upgrade it to 128GB for $120 more, totaling to $869 for a 128GB Pixel XL plus tax. Which is unfortunate because the previous line of Pixel phones, RIP Nexus, were not as pricey, starting at $499 for the 32GB model of the Nexus 6P. But if you can get past Pixel's flagship price, you are getting yourself a flagship phone. Starting with the battery, this thing has a 3450 mAh battery that pretty much lasts me all day. For my average use, it lasts me 1 full day and I don't have to worry about charging until halfway through the next day. Since this is pure Google and it is a Google product, I'm pretty sure they were able to optimize the software so that way Doze is able to save a lot of battery life while the phone's not in use. So the rapid charging is fast, although I did come across some issues where it would say 30 minutes left to charge and it would take about 45 to an hour to complete the charge. It's not really a major issue, but I just wish that it was a little bit more accurate so that way I'd have a better estimate of when I should take my phone off the charger and stuff like that. But it could just be my model. There is no wireless charging on this. And so while this is an issue to some people, especially because it's a flagship phone, it's not really an issue to me, but I would rather take rapid charging over wireless charging any day. This phone has a 5.5-inch 2560 by 1440 screen with 534 ppi, but if you're watching basic YouTube videos on a 5.5-inch screen, it's gonna look the same as 1080. It's gonna be a little bit clearer, but to an average consumer, it doesn't really matter. All I can really say is that this is a great screen. It works well in various light sources. It's bright and vivid, and what else do you really need to know? It works. But something that doesn't really work for me is the speaker. It's pretty much a mixed bag here. This phone has 2 speaker grills, but only one of them works. But it sounds good, so I don't really know how to feel. Like I said, it's a mixed bag. There's no front-facing stereo speakers on this, which is especially weird because on the previous line, the Nexus 6P and the 5X, and I believe the Nexus 6, all had front-facing stereo speakers. I don't know why this one doesn't, especially because HTC manufactured this. I'm confused. Why does it have the one speaker facing downwards? I don't know. But don't get me wrong, the single speaker that it does have does actually sound good, but it's still one speaker, but there's designed to be 2? The fingerprint sensor is fast to set up, easy to use, and it's located in a prime position, so whenever I pick up my phone, it's just, I pick it up and unlock it, and that's it. Another neat trick of your fingerprint sensor, it serves as a notification swipe down. So you just put your finger on the back, swipe down, and there you go. You have all your notifications. And now onto the design. It's an interesting design to say the least. It's not outstanding, but it's not super ugly. It's an aluminum unibody build with the glass panel on the back for some reason. Apparently it's to, help it with reception and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I don't know. It's got this huge chin on the bottom of the phone, which could have served as a good spot for a front-facing speaker. And yes, I'm still on that because I wish that it had front-facing speakers, but I will move on to my next point. After a while though, I kind of got used to the giant chin. It doesn't really bother me because I just don't pay attention to it. It's just part of the phone. Overall, the design is mild. It's not the most interesting phone that I've seen, but it's also not the ugliest one. And unfortunately, there's no expandable storage, so you can't put micro SD in there and then up your storage. You have to actually buy it, like I said before. And on top of that, there's no waterproofing, which once again, it doesn't bother me, but if you're paying flagship prices, that's starting to become expected of a flagship device. I guess one perk of the design is that it doesn't have a camera bump. If you lay your phone completely flat on a table, it's gonna sit flat. Speaking of the cameras, these things are great. There's a 12.3 megapixel sensor on the back and then an 8 megapixel sensor on the front, both of which have really low f-stops, which means basically that it allows a lot of light in. So this camera is really great for low light. Whenever I take a photo, I just pull out my phone, take the photo, put it away, and I never really have to worry about it. The autofocus on this phone is really quick. All I have to do is tap on the phone screen, tap on the shutter button, and that's it. If you want to see more examples of photos that I've taken, feel free to check out my Instagram down below. I have a bunch of shots there taken from my phone where you guys can be the judge of how the phone has performed. I haven't really used the video function on this phone that often, but I have used it for just a little bit, and it looks nice, and the onboard image stabilization is really good. I can't really judge it quite yet, but I am planning on doing a video for this channel shot only with the Pixel XL, so stay tuned for that. And now on to my favorite part of this phone, the Google Assistant. So far, this is the only phone with Google Assistant built in, but I'm hoping that there are more phones that start having this feature because it's really great. It's super useful to just say, okay Google, and then have your phone ask you, what do you need, or something like that, and then you just say, what's the weather, or how to say something in Japanese, what's on your agenda for today, what are sports scores, and anything you can think of right now. Well, not anything really, but you know what I mean. So while it's a new feature, it doesn't know everything yet, but it's AI, so it's only a matter of time before Google implements new features and allows it to do more things. I use the Google Assistant at least 3 times a day to set a reminder for myself, ask what the weather is or what's on my agenda, just random things. Just, it's so easy to use. So the big question is, should you get this phone? And if you're looking for a flagship phone for a flagship price, I say yeah, go for it. To sum up everything, this phone has a great battery that lasts all day and it charges really quickly, a fast camera that takes extremely good photos, the Google Assistant, which is super useful, and a fast fingerprint sensor means I never really have to think about unlocking my phone. And it also has a single speaker, even though there are 2 speaker grills, no wireless charging, no expandable storage, and no waterproofing. And the biggest issue of all is the price, considering that the previous line of phones were starting at $500. With Google's first steps into launching their own flagship devices, it'll be exciting to see where the Pixel line of phones ends up next year, as they improve and build upon their existing product line. Hopefully you guys found this video informational. If you guys liked the video, be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.